the steps of the wardrobe. Miles hadn't seen it since, which was just as well. There's nothing wrong with a bit of whimsy now and then. Barnaby eyed Miles's dark grey waistcoat with the plain silver buttons, his nose wrinkling. Really, Cross, I don't know why you always insist on dressing as if you're in mourning. It was a great pity he wasn't in mourning, as it would have given him the perfect excuse to cancel this house party. But there weren't any Winthrops left to die. He and Barnaby were the only two left. In any case, it was too late. Half the ton had already arrived, and the other half was scurrying across Oxfordshire towards Steeple Cross even now. The gentlemen salivating at the promise of lively sport, lavish dinners, and excellent port, and the ladies plotting the usual romantic intrigues that were the bane of every house party. It was a damnable way to spend a fortnight. He despised romantic intrigues with the same virulent loathing Vincent reserved for vulgar waistcoats, but a man must endure all manner of unpleasant things, particularly when he was an earl in need of an heir. Brightly embroidered waistcoats are all the rage in London this season, Cross. Every gentleman of fashion is wearing them. Every dandy, you mean? Was Barnaby a Bond Street beau now? Good Lord, he hoped not. But the hummingbirds weren't reassuring. Not just the dandies. You forget I spent time in London this season, cousin. More time than he'd ever cared to, every second of which he heartily regretted. I didn't see a single gentleman of any sense wearing a waistcoat embroidered with peacocks. Plenty of fools, though. There was no shortage of those in London. Hummingbirds, Cross, hummingbirds. And I saw Lord Arthur wearing an embroidered silk waistcoat at Lord Babbage's rout just a few weeks ago. I do hope you're not holding Lord Arthur up as a paragon of good sense. The man is as penetrating as a blade of grass. If that, but he's good fun. Did you invite him to Steeple Cross? No, but there will be enough people milling about to keep you entertained. Fortunately, Steeple Cross was more of a country estate than a gentleman's hunting box, and could accommodate a large party. Or was that unfortunate? He could no longer tell. What people? Barnaby made a face. Not those dullards from the Royal Society, I hope. Everyone. It wasn't as much of an exaggeration as he wished, God help him. Your old companions from Oxford, Lord and Lady Kimble and their 3 daughters, Lord Ambrose and his daughter, Lady Cecil and her nieces, and a few dozen others from that set. Why so many daughters and nieces? We'll be overrun with ladies. That was rather the point, but Barnaby would discover what was in store for him soon enough, without Miles hurrying him along. Lady Fosbury will be here, and Lady Drummond. You remember Lady Drummond and her daughter Lady Cora? Barnaby and Lady Cora had grown up in the same neighbourhood in Hereford. They were close in age, and had been friendly as children. Vaguely, yes. Barnaby shrugged with an indifference that would have not endeared him to the young lady in question. How does she do? Very well, from what I understand. You didn't see her in London? No, just Lady Drummond. But she tells me Lady Cora has grown into a lovely, elegant young lady. Hopefully Lady Drummond hadn't exaggerated her daughter's appeal, as he had no patience for giggling schoolgirls. Barnaby snorted. Her mother says so. Everyone knows you can't believe what the mother says, Cross. I remember Lady Cora as a scrawny chit with yellow hair. A scrawny chit with yellow hair? Good Lord! That sounded like the sort of unkind, ruthlessly accurate comment Miles's father might have made. Barnaby was the heart of amiability, but the cross blood did rear its ugly head now and again. I hope to God you have the sense not to repeat such a comment in Lady Cora's hearing. Or in any young lady's hearing, or this thing would be over before it began. Lady Cora must be, what, 18 or 19 years old now? Why wasn't she in London for the season with her mother? Barnaby's brows lowered, as if Lady Cora's absence must be the result of some deep, dark secret. Why didn't she debut? Lady Drummond's father passed away just before Christmas last year, and she and Lady Cora are only recently out of mourning. Lady Drummond was in London to see to some business, not for the season. I can't imagine Lady Cora is keen on grouse hunting. The wind tried to send Barnaby's hat whirling into the tempest, but he snatched it back and jammed it down onto his head.